Hello,
I'm Karina.
and I'm Jamie.
Welcome to As Told by ADHD. This podcast is the brainchild of two best friends with ADHD who share a passion for learning and a knack for finding the most fascinating tidbits of knowledge.
Each week, we embark on a wild and hilarious journey of discovery as we dive headfirst into topics that pique our curiosity. From dark folklore to bizarre statistics, cultural ceremonies to famous dead people, we're here to entertain, educate, and tickle your funny bone.
This week on As Told by ADHD, we are going to talk about historic female criminals. Lock me up.
Oh, lock her up.
Lock me up.
We love a baddie.
Isn't it crazy to think about, though, that, like, more than half of the things that we do on a daily basis, we can be convicted of back in, like, the 1800s?
Oh, I was like, what are you doing?
Like before women had, like, basic rights, like, we could literally be arrested for half of the things we do in a day.
Mm-hmm. I have so many tattoos. Like, I'd probably be locked up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Evens or odds?
Even?
It's a 5.
It's we're just... honestly, I think it's just comedic value at this point.
Honestly, yeah. You know what? Next week, I'm calling it. You're going first next week.
Okay.
I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
Okay.
Okay. So, the criminal I want to talk about today has a very interesting name, but I won't tell you her, like, not name as in, like, her legal name, but name as in, like, her criminal name, you know?
Okay, yeah.
So, and I'm not going to tell it to you just yet because it will give away the hilarity of it.
Okay.
So, April 17, 1933, we're in Bronx, New York. Okay? We're in New York. We're at a Bronx butcher shop. I don't know what that was. Just forgive me for that. And this butcher shop was operated by the McMahon brothers. Thomas McMahon, who was manning the front counter this morning, and Henry McMahon, who was in the back.
Okay.
So, they had a normal day. Everything seemed pretty average. And then in mid-afternoon, a striking brunette bombshell walked in. She walks in the door, and this is how I imagine it happened. She puts her arm on the counter, and she says, and this is a quote, by the way, from a newspaper article that I found. "Wrap me up a couple pounds of beef steak." So
sealed the deal. They were in love.
Sealed the deal. At least that's what he thought. So he's doing his own thing, right? And he wraps up the beefsteak, and he's about to give it to her, and then two more people walk in, a man and a woman.
Okay.
But they position themselves right in front of each of the windows, and it looks like they're standing trying to block the windows, like, so nobody could see in, right? And then the woman is digging through her purse and pulls out a pistol. She reaches in her pocket, pulls out another pistol. And she's like, go to the back. And he obviously is going to comply because there's 3 people that they look like they're all together, and she's got 2 guns, right? And then when she gets back there, she usually has a very strange request. But this time she's like, I got to touch up my makeup. So she puts her gun in her bag, and then she pulls out a compact, and she's looking in the mirror. And what she didn't notice was that Henry, who was in the back, was like, oh shit, a woman with a gun. I gotta go. So he jumps out of the window and starts yelling for police. And this kind of like throws her plan off. So she ends up running out of the butcher shop, with the two other people. I think the two other people, they ran first and hid, and then police were just around the corner, so they drove around because they heard somebody yelling, "Stop thief." And then she jumps in an alley and she starts trying to shoot at the police officers. And she is trying to get her gun out, but she can't get it out fast enough. And they stop her. Right?
Right.
They have her detained. They take her in. And then they're like, hold on a minute. I think this might be the Pretty Pants Bandit.
Pretty Pants?
No, Pretty
Pretty
Pants Bandit.
Pants.
She's pretty and she's a pants bandit.
Pants Bandit. But she was just at a butcher shop.
Let me tell you what usually happens.
Did she steal the pants from the men?
So, what usually happens is she will go into a store. It doesn't have to be a butcher shop, just a store in general. Also, I think we should definitely take in consideration that this is in the Great Depression, right? I just can't stay away from the Great Depression. It's not like we're all depressed right now. Anyway, so this is in the height of the Great Depression. Everybody's kind of depressed. Don't worry about it. So, in this time period, there was a lot of crime because with poverty comes crime. Because when you're pushed to a point of desperation or a point of you need or have a necessity for something, you're going to do any means necessary to get what you need, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, that being said, this beautiful bombshell of a woman, she would often go into a store of any kind. It could be any type of store. And she would usually bring two people, sometimes a man and a woman, sometimes a man and a man, but two people. They would stand at the front while she took the men in the back. And she'd be like, take off your pants. And they'd be like, what? No, I don't want to do that. And she'd be like, no, I mean, anything you have would not surprise me. I could not be shocked. So she takes their pants and leaves with them, with the pants. And if you think about it, it's kind of smart because there were no, phones. I mean, I guess there were phones back then, right? But there weren't, cell phones. You couldn't pull a phone out of your pocket and be like, hey.
Right.
You couldn't be like, hey, I need help.
Wee woo.
Right. So usually you would, if something were to happen, you'd go outside and be like, help, help, help. But if you don't have pants, are you going to go outside? No.
Fair.
You don't want everybody to see your business.
Yeah, fair.
Right.
That's so fair.
It's really smart on her part to be like, give me your pants and I'm going to go with all your money. Thanks.
Now, question. Yeah, okay. So that's what I was wondering. Because you didn't say that she robbed, she took money or goods or anything like that. All you told me is that she puts them up, brings them to the back, and takes their pants and leaves.
I did leave that out. She did take money from the registers.
Put it towards the end, but I was like, "What is she? Is she a seamstress? You can't afford fabric."
That's so funny.
No. What is happening here? Okay.
No, so she would usually go in and be like, "Hey, give me your pants," and then she would take money from the register. She would take money from their pants pockets and then she'd get out. with her friends that she had in the front. And when she was caught, she ended up telling the police that she was doing it because she was trying to support her younger brother and sister. However, I don't believe this because she had some other instances in her life. She had been doing this for a while, and apparently she had been married twice before, because the police did a little digging on this woman, right?
Right.
And like that's okay if you've been married twice before, like it's no big deal. However, I don't know what order this happened, but one of her husbands died tragically. I can't
Like
say
freak accident?
it didn't say. It just said that she was a widow and she had 2 children with another man. The 2 children were actually living with the father. So she was actively choosing to go do crimes instead of take care of her children, which leads me to believe, like, if you were, like, to support anybody, wouldn't you want to support your children and not, I mean, like,
Yes.
obviously you want to support your siblings too if you have the
Siblings too,
means.
yeah. But children,
But, like,
yeah.
right. So that's what led me to believe that. But also, she had a previous arrest record for murder. Yeah. Apparently, she was arrested for the murder of her sister-in-law, which I'm assuming one of the husbands, if not like this is how I picture it. This is not fact at all, but I'm imagining she got married, had 2 kids, killed her sister-in-law, they got divorced, and then she got remarried and he died, right? That's what I picture.
Right.
That it could be the opposite. I don't know. But she ended up getting acquitted for murder, so she wasn't charged with it. Do you know what acquitted means?
Yes, but I'm just curious as to, like, it for being that time
Mm-hmm.
and her being a woman, how that happened.
Right. But also, like, I mean, maybe someone framed her for it. Because, like, I don't know. I feel like it's hard to, like, I mean, I couldn't get a hold of any of the police records. I tried, but I couldn't. But yeah, crazy behavior on her part. But also, okay, pretty privilege is real. And apparently this woman was one of the most beautiful women of her time. Like, she could, like, walk in and, like, everybody's looking at her, you know? So I'm sure that if she did kill her sister-in-law, it might stand to reason that she was like, hey, do you want to let me go? And could have let her go for that. I don't know.
Fair.
I don't know.
That's fair.
She could have just flirted her way out. Or maybe she genuinely didn't do it. And they were like, why did we arrest this bitch?
Right.
So, but I think it's just interesting that she's willing to shoot at the police. And she has a previous murder charge. She steals a bunch of pants along with a lot of money. And then she ended up going to trial because I think the same day that she was arrested, they brought in 3 previous victims of who they believed the Pretty Pants Bandit to be. And they were like, that's her, for sure. I wouldn't forget that face. That is her. So she ended up getting arrested, and she served 3 years. Well, about 3 years. There was one article that said 3 years. The other ones didn't say how much time. And she was 25 or 26 at the time of her arrest. It was kind of like, I found there was like a couple months in between, so she might have had a birthday between when she got arrested to when the article came out. Because when she got arrested, I found an article that said 25-year-old arrested, and then an article later is like, this 26-year-old was arrested and blah blah blah. So
Like,
she could have had a birthday.
okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so she's 25 or 26 or both. Who knows? There was also, they ended up catching the other two as well, which I had their names in one of the articles, but I don't know if like maybe I'll put them somewhere on the screen. But apparently the woman, she was in another alley hiding behind some trash cans, and they were like, come on. And she was like, no, it wasn't me. I didn't do anything.
It wasn't me. I'm just a squatter.
I'm just squatting.
I'm squatting here.
And then they found the other guy hiding on a roof. So
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's actually really smart.
But he got caught. So how
Yeah.
smart can it be? Don't do crimes, kids.
I mean, the thing is that, you know, like whatever building, they're like, yeah, we heard something on the roof, like, or like, did a man come in here, like blah blah blah. It's like, no, but we've been hearing really weird sounds on the roof. Can you go check it out? And he's just like,
Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, she gave the name Marie Baker to the police, but it was later found out that she had an alias that was Rose Durante. So, I don't know which one's real, or if either of them are real, but she got arrested.
and then there's no other.
Also, I need to just mention that she was not the only person doing this at this time. She was just the only woman. There was a ton of people who would go rob places and take men's pants with them. Because, like, women didn't work in that time, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the pride was strong back then.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they would just take pants of people and be like, give me your pants. And then they would run off with the money and pants. So I found a lot of articles about different people stealing pants while they're robbing. Like, not even just like pants from like a clothing store, like pants off of people. They're like, give me your pants. But I thought that
That's
was
crazy.
hilarious.
No, I mean, but like I mean, also back in the day, like putting on and off, taking off pants was like, putting on and taking off clothes in general back then was like no small feat.
Exactly.
Like,
And
you had
another-
things clipped into things and things wrapped in things and all of that stuff. So
Yeah. And another thing, if it was like written in the article, it was like if anybody was too shy to take their pants off, they were like, no, I can't. She would actively help them and be like, give me your pants. We're taking off your pants. Give them to
What
me.
the heck?
And then she would leave with them. That's crazy.
What's so crazy is that, like, maybe her friends were holding them at gunpoint, but, like, there is because, I mean, obviously she can't go to the gym and she can't, like, do XYZ. Like, these men, like the butchers, for example, they have very distinct muscles built for, like, hauling meats and, like, stuff like that. And, like, this
Hauling
beautiful
meats?
woman, like,
Sorry.
it just... But, like, this beautiful woman comes in, and she's probably not as jacked as the butchers.
But
and
she
she's
has
just
two
like,
pistols.
Give me your pants. But she put them away.
No, she put one away.
Oh, she put one away. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
She
like
put-
in the scenarios where she would help that one guy take off his pants, whoever he was. Like, I just don't know how she's like, stay still.
Well, she probably
don't know.
started helping them and then, like, just held the gun to their head and was like, Took them off. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Also, like, imagine you're a man, you're in the 1930s, you're probably misogynistic, you probably are, like, very susceptible to pretty women, right? And this beautiful woman comes in, she's flirting with you, and, like, you're like, oh, wow, like, that's me? And then she pulls out 2 pistols. You're probably in shock. You're like, what do I do? You know?
Mm-hmm.
You're probably like,
Yeah.
because, like, you're going from one extreme to the other. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, this pretty lady's flirting with me? And then...
But I thought...
guns.
And I could be wrong. And we can cut this out, too. But I thought that, like, misogynists were men who hate, like, literally hate women.
I mean...
So is it egotistical more the right word?
It can be any type of that. It's... From my understanding, it's men who put value on men more than women.
Okay.
Like, yes, hatred can come along with that, but
okay.
if you are a man or woman, because women can also be misogynistic. Like, if you are sitting there and you're like, okay, I believe that men have more value than women, then that's misogynistic, in my opinion.
Okay.
Are you Googling it?
Yeah, it's like a prejudice.
Mm-hmm. It's like a prejudice against women where, like, where you see women as less than. What are you looking up now?
Well, I said, how can someone be misogynistic and want to marry a woman?
That's a whole nother can of worms. Because society tells them they have to. Because society tells them that being gay is wrong. And society tells them that their value is in providing for a family, which you need to have a spouse and children, to have a family. So it's like very deep rooted in the patriarchy. Is she a feminist?
Patriarchy. Okay. All right. Well, luckily we're not in a time where that's a thing, because I cannot imagine me, like, in a store and someone just saying, get on the ground, we're robbing the place, and give me your pants. Like, I could not.
Mm-hmm.
I could.
Well, in that time period also, there was, like, I don't think that women really wore pants. So
No.
women wouldn't have to deal with that. It was only
very
really
few.
men.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Yeah.
It was nice to meet you, Pants Bandit.
But isn't that so funny, the idea
That's hilarious.
of, like, somebody being like, give me your pants.
Yeah. Yeah. But, like, it was probably so easy for them to narrow down, too, because they were probably like, so many pants are being stolen. Like, where do we even start? And then the common line with this one was, it was a woman.
Mm-hmm. And that's why she got caught, honestly. Well, I mean, honestly, she got caught because, like, her vanity. She pulled out a compact mirror and was like, ooh, and then she started to, like, retouch her lips. And then the guy, the brother that she didn't know was there, jumped out of the window. And that's why she got caught. So,
Gotcha.
Moral of the story is,
don't steal pants.
Don't steal pants. Unless
Don't
they're
be
your
vain.
boyfriends and they're really comfy.
That's true. Don't be vain. That's another lesson. Because it doesn't work out.
Actually, if you're going around robbing things, be vain. So we can catch you.
True. True. Or like at least the people you're holding hostage can get away safely.
Mm-hmm. So funny. I really
Jeez.
want like a TV series of the Pants Bandit. And like it
That
doesn't
would
have to be like
really...
it doesn't have to be like accurate to like what happened. Just like maybe inspired off the Pretty Pants Bandit. There's actually when I was researching, I heard about this like 5 to 8 years ago, somewhere in there. And I remember when I heard about it, I was like, that's so funny. And I just kind of like stored it in the back of my mind. And then when I searched it back then, there was no musical, but I searched it like last week and there was a musical. Also, side
Like
note.
YouTube, did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it. I don't
Oh.
think it's available on YouTube. It was like, it wasn't Broadway or anything.
Gotcha.
But, what was I saying?
Side note.
Musical. Oh, yeah. Side note, in a lot of media, it is depicted happening in Miami, but it didn't happen in Miami. It happened in Bronx, New York. And I know this because I did a ton of research. Because the research that I did, I found that one specific article had the name of the the district attorney. And I searched the district attorney, that name in like the district attorney database of Miami wasn't there. And then I searched it in the district attorney database in New York, and it was.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, because I was like, is there a Bronx, Miami? So, no. I mean, maybe. Not that I
mean,
could
there
find.
could have been back.
Maybe. I don't know.
But
But
anyways,
I hope you like the Pretty Pants Bandit.
I actually really like that. Pants.
Mm-hmm. So, tell me about your criminal.
My criminal kind of has some relation to how some influencers nowadays are. We'll get to it. We'll get into the details, but like it just kind of shows like the habit of how people present themselves and things to other people and then convincing people of certain things that is not true and all of that kind of stuff.
Are we going back to a cult?
I have an example. No, actually.
Okay.
It's just essentially like advertisement. Like,
Okay. So like an MLM, but criminal.
yeah, pretty much. So,
Okay.
And this is how I related it. So I was doing like my normal doom scroll that we do probably about 10-15 times a day. And I saw this influencer who does so much in the name of anti-aging that they wake up hours before work just to do their routine, and they record it. And like most people who watch influencers who kind of go a little bit extra, they're like, you know, you do you. If it makes you happy, like do it. But when it comes to like influencers, I feel like reality and relatability, it's like becoming more and more blurred, I guess, like between influencers and like everyday people. So someone new to their platform would see this and see how good this person looks, and that so that they will end up going out and like spending their own money to look like that person because of their aging insecurities and whatever. But when I looked into this person who had this huge routine, I wanted to know if it actually worked. And I think to save their skin, because they're like in the same age range as me, or to like when I say save their skin, like when it comes to law, I think they had to put something out there to be like, I told people. What I found out on their page is that they had 21 procedures done to their face and chest. 21 procedures to their face and chest. And they have about like a 38-step routine to get ready in the morning. Just stuff that they do to their skin, their face, like all of these serums and these vitamins and these oils and these like even injections and like all of this stuff that they do to their body in the morning before they go to work. But I feel like it's disingenuous because at the same time, they look like that because they've had like 21 procedures done on their body at the same time. So this influencer obviously isn't a criminal, but Madam Sarah Rachel Russell is. And she capitalized on selling fraudulent cosmetics in the 1800s.
Okay.
In the name of anti-aging and looking beautiful forever.
Okay, where are we? Where are we going?
So we are... So what I could find, Sarah Rachel was born around 1814 in London, England. Lower class, okay? Because of this, because she wasn't high class, this is kind of Victorian era, there wasn't a lot of documentation on lower classmen records because they just like weren't prioritized. But we know in the 1840s, she married a man named Philip Levison. He was... He needed to be able to survive. So, he kind of had like a sketchy job. He was a salesman, but he was a salesman at the time were kind of like con men. They would just kind of like sell in the name of
like snake oil?
Yeah, like just like really weird
like
things
a
that would help with yeah. Or like a machine that can do everything, but it's really just made out of like random aluminum scraps or something. Like it just it wasn't
Makes me
good.
think of that guy from Sweeney Todd, the one that has the kid go around and like...
Oh, yeah, pretty much. But since he did this criminal activity, his wife, Rachel, or Sarah Rachel, was just like, teach me your ways. So she learned through her partnership with her spouse how to swindle people. And I honestly do think it was in the name to survive, but it escalated, unfortunately. So, what she ended up doing about 10 years after they were married in the 1850s, they both actually started to look for an avenue that would skyrocket them to all the riches. So she began to dabble in the beauty trade because it was kind of taboo. So during the 1840s, 1850s, 1860s, makeup was kind of shameful. So since it was so shameful in the Victorian area, that means it was pretty much illegal. So women would try to hide their makeup. And this is like what I thought of. I was like, this is where the no makeup look was was invented.
Originated?
Like, I'm kidding, but like seriously, like they would try
I didn't actually
to like
know this.
Huh?
I didn't know that they had like rules, like makeup was like taboo, you know?
Yeah, it was because it made them look fraudulent.
Okay.
In a way.
Interesting. We should do like the history of makeup. I gotta know, like, when did makeup become more accepted?
Right.
I wonder.
That would
Crazy.
be a good one.
put a
But
pin
what
in
I
that.
do
We'll come back to
know,
it.
I know, what I do know is that makeup was very much used during this time, but it was prostitutes, courtesans, and actresses, you know, for like the dramatic whatever. So makeup
Right.
was around, but it was just kind of like, and I think that's why it was shamed as well, because
Right. But
yeah,
I mean, I feel
unfortunately.
like in that time period, sex workers really needed makeup because they probably had a lot of diseases, because there was no protection in that time that could prevent those types of diseases. And there was no
Exactly.
medication. I mean, I'm sure there was some medication, but like not what it is today.
No, it was literally
Yeah.
like drink this
So-
herbal tea, pretty much.
And they probably looked sick.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I do genuinely think like that's why everybody else tried to stay away from it, because these women unfortunately had to take those routes to try to like still make money. Yeah, it's kind of sad if you think about it, but
Yeah.
but the reason in general that I found in this time period and in London, the reason they were starting to use cosmetics was because they wanted to maintain their like youthful glow. So Sarah Rachel decided that this would be like the perfect opportunity for her to create her own products. So her first salon, well, they called it a shop, but her first salon was in Clerkenwell, London, and she later moved to the most fashionable and wealthiest areas of London, which was New Bond Street. And she ended up growing so popular that she decided to adopt a glamorous French-sounding alias. That was the words. That was the words that they used, not me. But she decided to be called Madame Rachel. Madame Rachel. Okay.
Okay.
So
yeah, Rachel's very
later,
French.
I know. Sarah, like Madame Sarah. No, Madame Rachel.
Maybe she said it with a French accent, like Rachel or something. I don't know. I don't know how to.
Maybe.
Rachel.
Because it says French sounding, so I just thought she said like French, Madame.
Madame Rachel.
Madame.
I bet it is like Rachel or something.
Yeah, it didn't have like any. It didn't have like a. Yeah. A decade later, so we're in the 1860s now, her salon had become legendary, like amongst all upper class sirs and ma'ams. So men were going to her too. Her clients range from aristocrats and even royalty, because she could give them the blessings of perpetual youth and beauty.
I gotta know what
That was
these
kind of like
products
her
were.
sales pitch. All right. So,
Okay. First, tell me what they were advertised as, and then tell me what they were.
well, I have to like it's kind of. It
You
was
can do it how you want.
just soaps and powders.
That's really funny.
And oils, probably from her dinner the night before.
Oh, you're just slapping pork grease on your face. Gross.
I mean, people are raging about tallow right now, so
I feel like if you were to use like lard or something, you would break out so bad.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So she would make soaps, oils, and lotions out of whatever she found. She could literally find out that this, like, a certain grass that's grown on the other side of town has like a French sounding name, and use that and just be like, well, I saw this grass was grown over there and it just reminded me of my homeland, and I ground it into this oil and you put it on your hair 4 times a day, you know?
That's so funny.
She
Like,
literally
she's
made
like,
it up.
do you like the smell of fresh cut grass? Here you go, soap.
But she would also use random water from the creek after it rained, and she would call it magnetic rock dew water.
Okay, hold on a second. I could see someone selling that today as like a witchy like soap.
That's why I
or
kind of
something.
like
That's crazy.
That's why I kind of like related it to today, because it's like it's not
you could
too
get
far
away
off.
with that, right?
Yeah. She had like this golden hair wash. She had what was called the Arabian bloom of the youth, which
I wonder what these smelled like.
I do too. I actually am so curious.
It had to have
and then
smelled better than that time period anyway, because like it probably smelled so bad. So any soap was probably
Let
good.
me tell you this last one, because I couldn't find research on what it is, but the name of it, I don't even want to know. It was called Enamel of Arabia. Enamel.
Like teeth?
I don't know.
She's like grinding up teeth?
I don't know.
That's so horrible. I hate it. I hope that's not what it is.
It could be goat's teeth for all like we know. Like, you know, like
like a French name, a goat named Pierre.
Yeah, I mean, literally. I got this from Pierre when I went home to France. But like she would charge just because this stuff like had mystical fancy names to it, and she like threw on this accent and like stuff like that. Like she could charge hundreds of thousands of pounds, like inflation, county inflation, for her treatments.
That's wild.
Insane.
Okay.
So we know that this stuff is kind of like illegal, right? Like it's just
like,
shamed.
What?
Heavily shamed.
Was it illegal or was it just shamed?
It wasn't illegal, but it was like so shamed that like it was pretty much like the equivalent of getting canceled.
Okay.
Like you can lose.
But everybody
everything.
knew about this woman, right? And everybody kept going.
Yes, but everybody was keeping a secret from each other. So everyone was just like,
wild.
Who is she? What is that place? I don't know. But they go there like 3 times a week.
And she's like, welcome back, Mary.
What makes this criminal? Like actually criminal, right?
Let me guess. Let me try to guess. Okay. So let me think of the time period. She's a woman doing business.
Nope.
Illegal. Let me think. What could it be? It's got to be something with like some type of fraud. Or like, did they make a law specifically to like arrest her?
No. And also cosmetics, there was no regulations to cosmetics at this time either.
Okay.
So.
Maybe I think it's gotta be extortion? Oh, is it extortion?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. She knows her crimes.
So, I mean, it was about, that's one aspect of it.
Right.
So on top of her products just not being effective at all, that can count as fraud, technically.
Right.
Yeah. But nobody was really telling on her because it was
they assumed
taboo.
It worked. Right.
And it's just taboo. Like, who are you gonna, you know? So she would target. She had a target audience that she would dig her claws into. But she would target lonely, wealthy women, widows, and spinsters.
Oof.
Very vulnerable.
Most vulnerable.
Vulnerable, women. So she, of course, had to put on her game face, become the best actress she can be. And when they would come in for their treatments to like sell them more, like dig her claws deeper, she'd be like taken aback by their beauty. Like, oh my gosh, I've never seen you glow like this. We need to do another.
Yep.
We need to do another pronto. We need to keep this going. Like blah blah blah. So
Right. Oh my
she
God.
told them. Yeah, she told them in order to
I
keep the
wonder-
results, she had to keep coming back for treatment. Obviously,
Right.
So
I wonder if she like had plants in or near the store that would be like, oh my God, you're glowing. Like that would be smart if she was doing that.
So there
Like,
wasn't a lot of
hiring, like,
information
people?
on her
Well, yeah.
family, but she did have children. I don't know how many children she had, but a lot of the time things like this would be like a family business. So
Right.
it could have been like an inside job, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But what else she would do? She would dabble in forgery.
That's fun.
So she would forge letters to these lonely women from men. And since it was like taboo, they wouldn't put their name on the letters, but she would be like, I received this letter today. It's from an aristocrat. And he said that he was watching you on XYZ Street and he'd never seen somebody so beautiful before. And so what
That's
she
wild.
would do... And what she would do is that she would arrange marriages. So she would have like these long distance secretive relationships going on between an imaginary man and these lonely women.
That's crazy. What do you
But
mean?
these women would never talk or go like on a walk or like see these men ever. They're just getting love bombed by like this royal knight or like
That is
freaking
mastermind behavior.
yes
I'm speechless.
yes
And that's hard
Yes.
to do.
And the thing is that because nobody was talking to each other, because nobody wanted anybody to know that they're getting treatments or they're getting like help to because it was just so taboo, she was able to get away with this. Like, these women didn't go talking to their neighbor about a man that they're talking to
That's
and falling in
crazy.
love with. That's not even real. So, something else, each letter would
no.
cost money.
What do you like to write back or to
It's like,
write?
if you want me to arrange this for you, you have to pay me.
That's so crazy. This woman was smart, but devious as hell.
It was like, I can't imagine the mental trauma of these
Mhm.
women, especially like a widow, for example. Like, the heartbreak is so intense to finally start feeling like some form of love again towards this person, and like meeting like, long distance or like not being able to see that person for months at a time or even years at a time. That was normal. Like, letters were
Mm-hmm.
the form of communication. So that part wasn't that far off, but like, I just feel so bad. I just think about like the widows mostly
Yeah,
who are
that's
finding love
crazy.
again, and they're just,
that's
So-
wild. And I bet she got her husband to write it because like women's handwriting was probably different than men's handwriting at the time.
Yep. 'Cause
I
he dabbled in
imagine-
it too.
I imagine that all men in the Victorian era have doctor's handwriting. That's probably wrong, but that's just my assumption.
Terrible handwriting? Yes. I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
that's
but-
crazy.
yeah, the trust of people back then is astonishing.
Mhm.
Astonishing. But now we're in 1868.
Okay.
We have what was called the most sensational court case of the Victorian era. Okay?
Okay.
Her first scandal shook the world, pretty much. Shook
Okay.
England. She had a client named
Okay.
Mary Tucker, Mary Tucker
All right.
Borendale, but I'm just going to say Mary Tucker. She was a widow, and she was also one of Madame Rachel's most frequent clients.
Okay.
And Madame Rachel was arranging a marriage for her. Mary was told that, by Rachel that she was going to get proposed to soon by this nobleman.
How do you
Over
pull that
several
off?
years. Several years this was being arranged. And Mary paid the equivalent of over $100,000 to Madame Rachel for her to be like this
Like today's
middleman
money or
for
back
her.
then money?
Yeah, like today money. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, back then money? That's wild.
No. But like that's still a lot of money. Like that's an amount for a house that you're paying one
Right.
person to talk to a man you've never met.
Right.
So, but anyways,
back then, like, I mean, I guess it would make sense because back then, like, arranged marriages were more common, and not to mention that men and women weren't allowed to be in the same space alone.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
it makes sense.
Yeah,
But God, that is devious.
it is. Mary finally was just like, something's not right, though. Mary Tucker, she was like, something's not right. And she realized that she could be dealing with fraud. And she finally opened up to her family, then her friends, and then they helped her pretty much bring Madame Rachel to court. So
do you think it was like a domino effect where she was like, friends, I have a secret. I've been going to this lady and I think she's scamming me. And they were like, I've been going to her too. Me too. Me too. And
I mean,
they're
it
all
could
like,
have,
let's get
but
her.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they were just like, you're a widow. How dare this person sink her claws into you? So,
Right. God, that's crazy.
Yep. So after Madame Rachel was arrested, they found evidence of forged letters. They found out the ineffectiveness of her products. They also found the patterns through documentation of how she sought out her clients. And she, of course, was found guilty. She was sentenced to 5 years of penal servitude, which is hard labor, in prison. So 5 years passed. She was released. And she jumped right back into her beauty business.
This fucking bitch.
And some of her clients went back to her.
That's crazy. She must have been a smooth
Some of her clients
talker.
went back to her. She continued everything she was doing before. Everything.
And oh my God.
And then she was arrested again.
Of course she was. What do you think she was telling these people to be like, don't believe that?
I think I think it was just probably like a rumors thing.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like
That's
this Mary
crazy.
Tucker just wanted some money, or she was just mad because her nobleman didn't actually want her or something like that. It could have.
Do you think that you would have fallen for something like that back then?
See, I don't know, because when I was in school, like elementary school, if you got like a note from somebody, you're just like, oh my gosh. Even though if it was just like, I like you or something like that, you're just like, oh my gosh, what are these feelings? Oh my gosh. You know, so I imagine that that's kind of like the same concept.
Maybe, I don't know if I would have fell for that. But because I'm just like a naturally skeptical person. But at the same time, I'm trying to think of me at my lowest.
I think if you think about it,
maybe.
If you think about it, when you're trying to look for happiness in dread, sometimes, not all times and not all cases, you want to have validation on your beauty
Right.
and stuff like that. You want to feel like you're worth something to
Right.
somebody.
Right. I think I
Unfortunately.
might have fallen for it, but I don't think I would have fallen for it as long as Mary did.
Yeah, not several years.
Like, I think maybe a couple months would go by and I would start to get suspicious. I'd be like, something's weird about this. But I also have, like, really strong intuition, and it's, like, right 90% of the time. So, like, maybe I would have been like, off the bat. I don't know.
Yeah.
So at the end, is there anything else?
Well, she got arrested again.
Mm-hmm.
Late 1870s, so like a decade later. And she got sentenced just like before and ended up again with penal servitude, but for longer. And this time her health deteriorated in prison, and she died in prison in the 1880s in her mid-60s.
That's wild.
Yes.
How did this happen?
Well, I want it like, yes. But there's always a first, is what I had to think of. Like there has to be like a first that things like you learn a big lesson from a big situation, you know?
Right.
But I want to quote what it said online verbatim because it pretty much closes out like this story perfectly. It said, Madame Rachel remains one of the most fascinating figures in the 19th century criminal history. She was a woman who exploited the Victorian obsession with beauty and status. She understood the emotional vulnerabilities of upper-class women, and she built a business empire out of illusion, deception, and vanity. She was a pioneer in what we might now call cosmetic fraud, blending personal charisma, fake science, and psychological manipulation to create a business model that preyed on fear, aging, and loneliness.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, and I'm not saying that she doesn't need to be legendary, but like
more people need to know
are
about
legendary too. Yeah.
Right.
And that's
infamous.
And like yeah, like I feel infamous. Yes. And I feel like it's still so prevalent. Everybody's trying to sell you a product that works better than anything that you've ever used before. And people are still lonely. People still have fear of aging. Some people do, like, the insecurities.
Like weight loss stuff.
Yeah.
That's really big right now.
Yeah.
That's wild. I will say this is probably one of my favorite stories that you've told on this podcast so far.
I feel like it's a very Jamie story.
It is a very
Jamie story. That's why I was like a little bit scared.
Obviously, I'm going to go with the funnier option with a female criminal.
Right.
That's just, I mean, the Pants Bandit, that's funny. But, I don't know. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I was like, oh my God. I've never heard the story before. My God. I'm thriving right now.
I did dabble in a little bit of true crime. We love a little dabble. So
I love true crime. Clearly this was my my topic that I chose.
It was, but I think all of them. I think because we're still tackling the original list.
Yeah.
So, but I did have a lot of fun.
There's some on there that we have ignored. There's one that we've tried to record several times and it has not, like, it just keeps going bad.
Yeah, you know how there's like curses to like certain things, like, you know, the movie sets or like this book or whatever. Things just go wrong when we try to record this episode every time. However, I do want to come back to it at some point. Yes. Because I really love that story. Well, maybe we'll have to say it on a live or something.
And see if people want it? I don't know.
No. It's just like every single time we try to record it, something happens. So.
Right.
We'll see.
That's crazy.
We shall see.
We'll see, guys. We'll see. What do you guys think? I would love to hear your opinions on my story, but more importantly, Karina's story. That was riveting. I loved it. I'm having a great time. Also, we haven't said it yet on the podcast, but I would really love if you guys would subscribe. Please.
Oh yeah,
Please.
that would be nice if you guys
Yeah.
had some time to like.
Do you like us?
Yeah, do you like us? Because we feel like we're likable. Maybe.
Oh, I feel like well, okay, I'm an acquired taste. I know I'm an acquired taste. Either you love me or you hate me. There is no in between.
I feel like that's the same for me.
No,
No,
I feel
I
like
will say this. People who are not used to kindness, they think it's fake.
that's
So
true.
I am very soft. Like I mean, I can get loud and stuff like that, but I'm generally like a very soft spoken person. I also will help somebody if they need help. Like even if a mama is trying to get her baby out of the sun and do like I will literally stop my buggy and just be like, let me load these up while you get your baby in the car or something like that.
Mhm.
People are like, I will do that kind of stuff like almost instinctually. But people see my personality. Like, if you're nice,
Mhm.
I don't think that's real. That has to be fake. So
For those who don't know what a buggy is, it's a
Oh.
shopping cart. So when I moved up north, I said buggy once, and everybody was like a dune buggy. Like, what do you mean? And I was like, like I like a grocery store, and they're like, what? And I was like, the thing that the buggy that you push, that you put the groceries in, and they were like, a shopping cart, and I was like.
it's a
So
buggy.
I say shopping cart now. Yeah, in the South, it's
Yeah,
a buggy.
it's a buggy.
That's what people call it in the South, if you're wondering.
Yeah.
But I would love to build a community here. So if you like hearing us talk about random stuff or our little stories or our little tangents, you should subscribe.
Please. Yeah, that would be great because like even though that we're probably going to be posting stories anyways,
Yeah.
like it just
Because
like
this is more of us just hanging out. We just want
Yeah.
to hang out. Because we're long
Yeah.
distance besties and I'm mad about it. You guys need to convince her to come live with me. Not even near me, with me.
she wants me to live in her house. She's like,
Mhm.
I love you and I want you to live in my house and I don't like you literally said that to me this morning. It's like live here, don't leave
Mhm. Also,
ever.
eventually I would love a duplex where we share a backyard.
Yeah. That's the bestie goal.
Heck yeah. Or like little cottages that are next door to each other. Ah!
Precisely. One day. But
anyway.
make sure that you don't forget. Yep, drink your water. My water is in the kitchen, but I have my coffee.
Karena.
I know. I was rushing in here. I'm sorry.
I'm so disappointed.
The base of this is water.
No, that doesn't work that way. Don't make me disappointed the way that Karena just did. Drink your water, okay? And do something nice for yourself this week. Like, you know that little thing that costs like $5 that you've been wanting, but you're like, I don't need it. Go get it.
Or roll the windows down and let your body release some vitamin D for like 5 minutes while you're on your way to like a quick shop mart to pick up milk or something. Like, do something that will bring you peace regardless of the time that you
If you're
yourself.
feeling depressed, move your body. I know it sounds awful, but okay. So I've dealt with depression my whole life. I was born with it, I guess. Maybe it's Maybelline. Sorry. But one thing that is really one thing that really helps with depression is when you turn on one of your favorite songs and just move. It doesn't have to be good dancing or anything. You just
Terrible dancing.
just like or like I love to do a little like twerk.
And she loves to do this arm thing.
Oh, I do that a lot, don't I?
You always do
I was like, what are you talking about? I don't do that. And then I was like, oh wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, just there's a trend going on right now all over social media. Well, maybe not all over. I've seen it like a couple times on both Instagram and TikTok, and it'll be somebody's like, here are the steps that I use to get over depression, and then they'll be like, and they'll just dance.
And those are the steps. The dance moves.
steps.
You get it?
Mm-hmm.
Get it?
Mm-hmm. Or just do a stupid little dance. Pretend like you know how to tap dance. That's so fun. Except I actually know how to tap dance. So,
but you still make it fun and goofy. So
yeah,
just have fun. Find something that just
right. Pretend that you're a good dancer trying to be a bad dancer. That's so fun.
Yeah. I'm just not a good dancer, so y'all can go to my personal TikTok. I show off my moves.
Hell yeah. Okay. Also, rewatch that clip several times. You'll feel better.
We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
This is
okay, guys.
Take care of yourself. Do good things. If you're gonna do a bad thing, don't make it illegal. Don't a breakup or something like that. Like if you need to do something
not, like, bad.
I mean, it's a
not
bad
fun.
feeling temporarily. Yeah. But anyways, we'll see you guys next week.
Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.
Goodbye.